Hello my beautiful Cancerians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of October right through the end of November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Now, also is worth noting that a twin flame dynamic is very unique. If anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and that will drain you of your beautiful love and, of course, waste your wonderful time. So let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to be aware of right now regarding their twin flame dynamic? Can you please show them the way? What do they need to know right now regarding their circumstances and what is to come regarding their twin flame connection? So we have the whip for your energy right now. You're finding it really hard. You feel that this relationship has been a bit of a punishment, perhaps. You may feel it has been very challenging. You're having to really, dissect your feelings. Perhaps you are removing yourself from this person's energy, keeping them at arm's length because you feel a need to protect yourself because this person has transformed the relationship from what it was. I feel like, there is an energy of you getting too close to this person and then everything changed. I've got this energy of this person kind of removing themselves from your energy instantly when you got too deep, but I will go a little bit deeper on that because that's really on the surface kind of energy that's a little bit obvious there. But I feel like you in particular, my beautiful Cancerians, you're trying to get your life back into balance in some way, and you may feel that this has been a very kind of intense cut off with the connection. There's been a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. It's repeated a cycle. There may have been some conflict there. Definitely anger. I feel like you've been going through different emotions there, especially with that whip. That can indicate it stings, it hurts. And you feel perhaps that this person, they remove themselves from the relationship and in some way control the situation. But I feel a lot of you are taking back your control by removing yourself. The whip is to say, right, you stay over there. You are a threat to my heart. You hurt. Everything that's going on there, that's your storm, and you're basically allowing it to destroy this relationship. And whilst you wanted to be there for this person and understand, I feel your withdrawal or I just heard from my guides, you're an immovable force right now. I feel like you're not giving to this person. Things are at a standstill there. And you may feel that you're, in a ways, by removing yourself from their energy and not giving to this connection, you're teaching them about your boundaries. So you've withdrawn is what I'm seeing there. With that Knight of Pentacles, you made a lot of effort in this connection. It's at a stalemate. You're learning more about yourself, what you're willing to put up with in a connection. I feel like you've been faithful. You've worked hard to try and understand this person and offer security, stability. But I feel like you're learning that you're not responsible for this person's happiness. You're responsible for your own. And of course, they will find that happiness within themselves, and then they can join you in a union when it comes to balancing the energies in the relationship. Your person has the Seven of Swords. They are firmly in the runner phase of the connection. Now, I want you to be aware that the twin flame dynamic is a very unique relationship. It's actually very intense, passionate, physically, mentally, but also emotionally. You attach to each other. It's obsessive sometimes. It's overwhelming in its energy. It's magnetic. You know all those things because you experienced all those things with your person. However, the twin flame dynamic, it's more than just a romantic, passionate relationship. It's actually a relationship that has a purpose. It serves you a dynamic to both you and your person to spiritually awaken, to really acknowledge that it's more than just a physically romantic relationship. It actually prepares you and your person to release any low vibrational cycles of like addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments, or fear, as it were. There can also be self-loathing, codependency, trust issues. There can be so many things, abandonment issues too, that perhaps keeps a person stuck in their, let's say, unhealed responses, okay? And the twin flame dynamic is to trigger the other party to amplify anything that has been left unhealed so that you cannot ignore what is being left or ignored and not processed. It amplifies so that both parties look at the stuff, okay? It's a very intense vibrational transformation that is inside, as it were. It is a personal journey of discovery that must be done alone. There tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. And that separation period has a purpose. So if you think of the twin flame dynamic like two magnets, both of you are identical in frequencies. You share at the core of you the same frequency as your twin, because of course you're twins. So therefore, if you have those two magnets that share the frequency, they want to attract to each other, but also they repel each other. There is that space in between. Now, both magnets, in order to attach to each other, they have to change the frequencies. So each individual magnet has to transform their frequency in order for there to be a connection. And the stuff in between is all the unhealed stuff that you may have experienced before you even meet your twin. Twin flame journey is a mirrored experience. Often, feelings are projected into the relationship. So whilst your twin, is looking at you, they're actually looking in a mirror of all the things within themselves that perhaps they've been running away from their whole life. They don't want to face, they feel fearful of, or they cannot control. So they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. They push their twin away when essentially they are rejecting a part of themselves that they know they need to look at, but they feel overwhelmed. Often twin flames, they do not trust unconditional love because they have not experienced it, or when they have tried to experience it, it left, caused pain in some way. So they're always, avoidant, or they're feeling they need to protect themselves from a perceived hurt that could come in the future, but may not come in the future. It's not that they're paranoid, it's that they've, been through something and their nervous system has put them into hypervigilance there. So I want you to be aware that twin flames, both parties must remain apart for a certain period of time in order to discover their life purpose, their mission, their true calling, and of course, to embrace unconditional love for self, because you cannot love another person if you do not love yourself. And I feel that is you coming home to yourself, and only then will the reunion process take place and the relationship be sustainable long term, okay? Now, it is a formed sacred union that is a result of shared difficulty and pain. Doesn't mean you've been through the same things, but the lessons tend to be very similar, okay? And your job, as it were, and your twin's job is to trigger things within each other to amplify and reflect back to you so you can identify areas that need healing, okay? And twins, they tend to step away, especially the runner, in order to acknowledge where they feel they need to protect themselves, or they feel wounded or damaged by life. And this experience tends to have happened before you even meet your twin. So they may have gone through some sort of traumatic experience, or they've been let down, disappointed, brokenhearted. They may even be in grief at times. It depends on your personal journey with your twin and what they're going through and what you're going through. But you tend to have had some sort of challenge before you even meet each other. And in order to move towards the next stage of evolution in yourself as well as this dynamic, there has to be a pause in order to go inwards for answers. Remember the magnets, going inwards, you change the frequency by putting all that care, love, and devotion on yourself, and then you're the catalyst for change, so that your twin then is encouraged to change their frequency so you can actually come together in a match. Okay, so not a game, energetic exchange. And with your first card there, and that's only a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. There's so much out there, but I just wanted to highlight that this relationship's different, okay? It's going to hit different. It often is a very challenging relationship where two people separate. It can feel isolating, lonely. It can feel like you don't understand. They also are thinking the same way as you. So if you're yearning for them, and I used to be a runner as well in my twin flame dynamic, I yearned for my partner too, my twin. You know, even though I couldn't get out of my own way when it came to the hurt, the fear that I had experienced, some very, soul-shattering challenges before I even met my twin. So I was kind of like a shell of myself. So my point being is the twin who is a runner is also thinking about their twin constantly. So if you're wondering, do they love you? Are they thinking about you? Looking at the cards, you've definitely met your twin. We've got the outcome energy as love coming together in a union, that both of you can rediscover the magic, but you need to look at your choices and your options right now and to really see through any illusions. And I feel your person has an illusion of fear right now, and this is something from their past, and whilst it shaped who they are, it is now in the past. So it is essentially an illusion. It doesn't exist anymore, but it may hold some control over them because we've got the great illusionist, the magician there, okay, and the Seven of Swords. When these two cards interact in a reading, it can indicate a need, especially with that Seven of Cups, to see the fear in its true form and identify what is it that is preventing them from surrendering to love, because there is love here. Okay, so your first card there is the Whip. You've been hurt by this, so you're keeping this person at arm's length. You may even be shocked by this. Now, you do not fall in love easily, even though you're very sensitive, and you may feel that this person, they got in deep. It's almost like two of you, very wild, intense souls, independent, wild, and free. It's like both of you come together and you're like, oh, are we taming each other? There's something coming out with this card. I don't often see this card like this, but I feel this person that you're dealing with, perhaps there's an energy where they never wished to settle down. There's definitely a commitment issue. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. You're already living that with this person, but they're holding something very close to their chest right now when it comes to how they feel about the world, about waiting for love, waiting to settle down. But I feel like with this card here in your protagonist energy, you're feeling very uncertain. This potentially has the kind of energy of hurting you again. So it's almost like a trust issue from your person has triggered now a trust issue within you, because how can you trust that you are on solid ground with this person when they come back on in? Actions do speak louder than words, but how can you trust when you are hurt by this person already? Once bitten, twice shy. I feel actually you've had quite a few cycles with this person in the energy, and you're trying to reduce the damage. It's almost like this card is showing up in your energy for damage limitation. This person, the experience with them has hurt. It's amplified. A desire here to really look at loyalty, but also some of you are thinking about maybe opening up, a pathway towards a new chapter in your life. I feel things got pretty serious in this connection. And, with the Whip, there's a lot of tension there. So I feel there is this kind of strict energy about you right now where you are not showing this person how you feel. You're not opening any further. You're doing a lot of questioning. I definitely see that, because there's a book there with knowledge, but also wands are all about passion, intensity, and the physical aspect of a connection with a person. So a lot of you are questioning, did they just have a romantic kind of idea of what love is, but really were looking for the physical goodies in a relationship? Or did this person love? You may be questioning everything they ever said. Did they mean what they said? Well, I feel the answer is yes. I feel more than anything, this person's running away from the self because they've got the man in the overarching position, which means this person knows that they are your divine counterpart. They know that, you are connected. And I feel this person, whoever you're dealing with, they do have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, but so do you. And you try to surrender to this union. I feel the Knight of Pentacles, you thought you would grow with this person. You're true blue. You offered a safe space to develop a relationship there. You worked hard to make it work. And this card can indicate that, you persevered. You didn't want to let go. And you dedicated yourself to this person. And you thought that this was a relationship that was two people dedicating each other, and that you would take this journey of life and love together. And I mean, looking at your future, there's love here, okay? And I feel that there needs to be a very honest, open conversation here for you and this person to proceed. There's something really magical about this connection, but there's also something here about control. Your person and you, I mean, I'm seeing an image in the water. Don't shoot the messenger when I say this. Every reading is unique and specific. There may be some similarities that come up there, but I have to tap into the energy that is coming through, and I got to work with that as well as the cards. And my guides are showing me an image right now of two question marks facing each other, but in the shape of a heart. So I feel, whilst these are two very separate cards, they're both about control. Both feeling uncertain. So either both of you have been hurt in previous relationships and there is this sensitivity to being abandoned or hurt, and it's almost like it played out in this connection based on fear, okay? Because this is the equivalent of the Emperor energy, and that's all about being very strict, being in control, not letting people in, and having a structure, protecting oneself. The Emperor is a protector. And of course, if you think about the nature of the circus, there is a circus ringmaster, as it were. They've got a whip, and they tend to deal with very wild animals, and they keep those wild animals in their place. So I feel both of you right now, it's like the inner wild within yourselves. You got caught up in a moment with each other, and then suddenly it's like, oh my gosh, some fears came to the surface, and both of you did a lot of questioning about how you want to be together, but at the same time, you feel that the bubble could burst at any minute. Because if you look at this card, there is love there. And that's two people who, see love as very delicate. Because you've been in circumstances in the past where love has either suddenly burst and hurt, or has, been a bit of a pipe dream, or you feel there's an idealism there. Because I just feel with this card, and I don't often get that with this card, that there is a delicacy with this relationship, and it's something that is rooted in fear. And I feel both of you maybe were not even looking to fall in love when you first met each other, because those two question marks are very unique, very interesting. Okay, now this could represent that in the next couple of weeks you're going to see two question marks. One of them obviously is reversed because they're forming a heart shape. Two little dots at the bottom. So this could be a logo, could be a tattoo if you like tattoos. Maybe your person's got one of those, or you do. Or maybe it's going to be something that is relevant. Your person could reach out to you and send a picture of that in the next couple of weeks, for example, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's the image. I'm just telling you what I see. I can only decode it. Question marks represent uncertainty, questioning, of course, maybe questioning each other. Having an insecurity. Maybe there's a bit of jealousy there. And not jealousy coming from the point where, you are jealous of the person. It's like you don't want to lose the person, so therefore you hold on a little bit tighter. There's this control. And if you know love, which you do, the tighter you hold on, the more you crush something, the more you don't allow it the freedom to, just exist and be organic. So there's just something there, but I feel it's rooted in fear with you and this person. And it could be that you're feeling this now because of this person's actions, but this person definitely has a trust issue. We got that Seven of Swords showing up in the energy. And this could be that they feel you've got a trust issue and they feel it is influencing the relationship. There's no blame game here. I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. It could also be that you feel that this person has a trust issue and they're constantly questioning you. But I feel whoever I'm picking up on right now, it is clear that somebody has a trust issue. And it is something that is making the whole relationship feel very uncertain. Okay, can you make it work with this person? The answer is absolutely yes. But I feel that it's not a case of validation in this. I feel it just needs to be two people pulling out all the stops to highlight to the other person that they matter, that there is love there, care, devotion. Because these two cards, it's like, there's love. This is the overarching energy. This is the most important kind of line in this spread. It indicates, you know, the dominant feeling, and everything else is kind of secondary there. So the dominant feeling here between both of you is love. You want to be together. You have a bond that brings you together. I feel there is a need for balance. But underneath this, the Seven of Cups is also an energy of uncertainty, of feeling like scattered, or feeling like, I don't want to say it's like, let's keep things open to see how things go, because that's not how it is. The Magician card is highlighting that the control aspect is the fear. It's like, what if that person leaves me? What if they cheat on me? What if this? What if? There's just a lot of what if going on in this particular energy reading. And I feel more than anything, I got to be honest, it is rooted at your twin, okay? And you may be just dealing with the fallout of that. So because they've got the Seven of Swords, this person is on the run. And they do not trust. And this could be that they've been betrayed or they've been lied to in the past, and they're protecting themselves because they've got the equivalent of the Emperor. But you've also got a protective card. So either that means it's a triggered point that they have ghosted or removed themselves or gone silent, and you're like, whoa, what is this? This hurts. And you're shocked, angered, you feel stuck, you can't move forward. You offered love, devotion. You gave your all to this. There's no reason not to, you know, be with you or to project these fears, because you've given them no cause to doubt your love. But yet there is a question mark. Okay, so again, this may not resonate with all of you, but I got to honor what's coming out there. Knight of Pentacles indicates you've come as far as you can right now. You've stopped. You know, it's been a very slow moving process, but it's like you've come to the pinnacle point where you cannot do any more. You've invested, you've sent messages, you know, now I feel like you're being stricter with your energy and you are working hard on your life, your projects, for example. I feel like there is an energy of you being very careful about this relationship. You were dedicated and you're trying to get back into the flow of your life. You offered commitment, basically, and you know, you did not leave this person's side. And yet they run, and yet they are running from something here. With the Two of Wands, I feel like they're out of their comfort zone with this love because there's a large amount of emotion there for this person. I will go a little bit deeper because this person's just presenting on the surface right now as they are having a trust issue, that they are very independent. They've always had to be by themselves, never rely on anybody else. They always thought that they would fall in love later on in life, or they were waiting. I feel like they're waiting. They're expecting maybe a message from you, or they're expecting that you were going to pursue or validate in some way, that they could feel safe in a relationship. But I feel like you're fed up. You've done a lot of that already. Okay, and we've got that Ace of Wands at the very bottom of your energy, which tells me that, you know, you're different. This has changed. You are transforming your life in some way. A new chapter requires a new version of you. So I feel this is about you contemplating whether you should have a fresh new start. You want to have a high-level commitment where there's passion, intensity, but also loyalty, stability, and someone who sticks around, someone who is not going to run at the first sign of conflict, or if things get too deep for them, or if they feel their emotions are too intense. But I feel with this person, emotional intensity made them feel like disassociated. That's what I'm getting. And it's right from the very beginning of their home life. from their family. This is a sort of person, I feel like they've witnessed parents or guardians kind of either divorce or be very turbulent, very strategic, sneaky. You know, it's almost like I'm seeing like a parent or guardian trying to get them on side all the time. And there may even be an issue here with an absent parent or guardian on the masculine side is what I'm seeing there. This person always waited for them to come home and, you know, have a bond with them. But that never happened. They were always waiting. And they really cared about this person. And they had a lot of time and respect for this person, but they're always waiting. But also I feel that there was so much turbulence within the house that your person kind of found themselves maybe removing themselves from situations a lot whilst there were so many arguments and just a lot of conflict. Now, this is not something that is 100% relevant to your twin flame dynamic with this person, but it influenced who this person is, and it made them look at relationships and commitment in a totally different way than you look at relationships and commitment right now. And I feel you may be learning about this, or this person's going to tell you something about a very turbulent childhood. Now, we've all got something. We've all been through something. So we must take accountability for actions. And this person is, like, I would say they're keeping something. It could be a family secret. Whenever you have a house in any card, it means something in the family, something that is a family secret that they grew up with. And I feel perhaps this is something that they feel you'll judge them on. It's like once that is open, there is no going back. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll try and see what it is. But your energy, the Ace of Wands, I feel like there is this desire to take the initiative, to reach out, you know, to have that spark. But the whip is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Nope. Don't reach out. Just keep your energy to yourself. When you start to refocus your energy and focus on your projects, your path, because this may have stopped you in your tracks for a little while. It may have made you feel like things were going somewhere and suddenly they weren't. So it put you in a bit of a tailspin there. You shut down a little bit. I mean, number 11 on that card indicates you know that there's a soul path connected. That's the Justice card energy. So you feel that this person was right for you until it wasn't. Okay, the Justice card energy is a need to adapt or make some adjustments. And also it is a card of being impartial, disassociating, making a decision that is based on logic. So I feel like you've shut down on your emotions as a self-preservation mode in order to enter into the realm of logic and where you spend your energy and your time. And you feel right now that this person, the situation is not fulfilling. So you're not giving your time to it and you're trying to pursue things that make you excited or feel fulfilled. But there is also this consistent looking back. I mean, if you look at the cards the way I can see them right now, this figure is looking back at this figure, and your figure, well, that's your figure there, and this is your twins, and they're looking down. So this person, I feel there's a lot of regret with your person, and I feel like you're kind of looking in the direction of your twin like, hey, you know what? I don't let everybody in. I was willing to be almost like tamed to be in a relationship. You know, if you think that you're wild, independent, and free doing your life, and then suddenly you meet your twin, it's like, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to settle down. I'm going to, you know, find a way towards comfort, but then your twin could not. So therefore, it made you feel like it was a trick. So you may be questioning this person's loyalty right now. And I feel to some degree, you know, there is, as I said, something about betrayal of trust or this person denying their feelings. I feel more than anything, this person's lying to themselves. Okay, but I don't see this person being like dishonest. So I have to pull a card on it because that Seven of Swords is there. The heart of the Seven of Swords is basically independence, you know, a misunderstanding. So I want you to be aware of that. But that Ace of Wands, I feel like you just want to be happy. You just want to have fun. And you may want a fresh new start because you're in bloom. You're at your peak. You are the best you are right now. But of course, you are someone who's attractive, both inside and out, and you'll only continue to blossom within that. But you may feel like you're out there blossoming and you are wasting time with a person who's not forthcoming in their energy. And you may feel like it's time to cut this short, cut a cord, or, you know, seek a new experience with a new person. Now, some of you may have just met a person where there is some sort of chemistry. You may be, asking yourself whether you want to pursue this at this time. If not, you may shortly connect to a person who has a lot of chemistry with you, but it's not your twin. So you'll have to make a decision in your future. There's definitely some choice here. That's your prerogative. I can't tell you which way you're going to go, but you're going to decide for yourself. But ultimately, with the polka dots there, you just want to have fun. You just want it to be lighter. Things got too serious in this connection, and now it feels like it's hard to bring the energy back up. Okay, now you acknowledge that whilst it would be nice to have a new start with this person, you also realize there's history. You can't just start afresh like nothing happened. This person needs to take accountability for their actions. They need to mature because this is a mature card. Now, as you can see, it's number 28. Number 28 is, when you reduce it, 2 plus 10, the Wheel of Fortune energy. So it tells me this person is turning their life around. But also, because you have the Man, it is a card of action. And I feel that this person is trying to confront why they run away, why there is a trust issue. And I feel like this person, they may actually have reached out to a counselor because I feel like they're learning. As you can see, there's lots of little pearls of wisdom there, but there's also some eggs. So it can be that this person... Okay, thanks so much. I'm so grateful. This is so random. Again, I'm not sure why it came up. In order to make something special, you have to break a few eggs. I mean, I don't even think that's the real sentence, but that's what I just heard from my guides. So this can be that this person's going to have to really open up and really give you the core of why it is that they are harboring this thing. Because I feel like there's something private here that they're holding. And I feel it really is something that transformed the way that they look at love and relationships. So I'm just going to pull a card on this because if you see this person, they're in the figure of a snake, okay? Now, snakes can indicate once bitten, twice shy. So definitely a betrayal or a trust issue here. But also it can be that this person has gone through a period of overindulgence, shall we say, because I'm picking up on an energy of excess, maybe addiction, and I'm getting this energy that this person, or someone out there anyway, maybe not all of your twins, because I'm getting about, that's quite high, 68%. 68% of your twins may have entered into some sort of step program where they are detoxifying from something. And one of the conditions of this detoxification period is to remove themselves from any romantic encounters so they can overcome an addictive personality. It's like breaking the addiction. So even if they're addicted to alcohol, for example, it can be that they are going into a step program where they are really looking at their addiction, their need for excess, and how they feel it's an unbreakable experience until now. I feel like they're taking back control. They're overcoming this. And it's when someone has an addictive personality is what is coming through right now, they can transfer that addiction or that addictive personality energy into other things. So if they remove alcohol, for example, from the equation, then they can channel their addictive leanings into a relationship. It becomes obsessive. It becomes a crave. So I feel this person, 68% of the twins I'm picking up on right now may be going through some sort of counseling or some sort of step program in an awareness of where there's an addiction. Okay, and they're transforming their life, and that means they need to keep you at arm's length also, so that's why there could be separation. But for the rest of you, the rest of the percentage there, I feel there is some sort of trust issue or betrayal that this person may have encountered that they're trying to recover from. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Okay, this is a cliche. Maybe your person is a bit of a smooth talker, okay, because I heard, because this is a runner's card, okay? I just heard the runner's card because Cancerians stole my heart. So I know that's so cliched, but anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Oh my gosh, even in another deck, yeah, this person's been cheated on. Even in another deck, got the Seven of Swords again. So this person, we got the Five of Wands. This is just clarifying for me. Five of Wands is rivalry. Okay, it means someone got played against another person in a relationship and they lost. And I feel like your person lost. So this person has been cheated on and it has made them shut down. There's jealousy there. There's fear of rivalry. They see you. You know, when you fall in love with a person, you actually kind of idolize them at the beginning of a relationship. You put them on a bit of a pedestal. You think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. And they are, of course, because they're wonderful. Not only are they wonderful within themselves, they've fallen in love with you, and that's why they're wonderful also. So when we do that, the dynamic shift. And when the dynamic shifts, suddenly there becomes a little bit of imbalance. And then the person who's a little bit below the other person starts to think, they're amazing, but why are they with me? And what if I lose them? What if they leave? What if they cheat on me? What if they betray me? What ifs? It starts to be a little bit of a negative slope cycle, as it were. That Five of Wands, if you look up the meaning of this can be competition. It can be an energy of challenge. This person has a bit of an inner battle there. There's a lot of conflict. And the Seven of Swords, I just needed to find out if this person has been cheated on or betrayed. And the answer is yes. And I feel whoever did this to this person, they really broke your person's spirit to a certain degree before they even met you. Now, this person does not want to go back to that person or that situation, but they've been marked by it. So whoever I'm dealing with, you know, it's almost like, I want to say they're not in pain. They're not hurt. They have disassociated from it. They're like, nope, not going to go there. Oh, they started falling in love with you. And they're like, okay, I'm getting in deep. I know what happened last time. I'm out. So it's like they pulled the parachute cord and like exited out of the relationship in some way because they feel this inner battle, this conflict. And, you know, when you have the Seven of Swords, it means a protective measure. They always mean to come back and, you know, try and work things out, but their fears get in the way. And I just feel like, yeah, this person, there's a trust issue and this needs to be worked out. Otherwise, I mean, the relationship won't work. Without trust, there is nothing. Of course, we all go into relationships feeling uncertain, feeling like this is wonderful, but what if? But if those fears like spin off into mistrust, constant questioning, control, then of course this is a cycle that needs to be really looked at. And I feel like your person, I feel like they're starting to become aware of it. They're really looking at it. But I feel this person, their coping mechanism is to disassociate or to numb. So maybe that's relevant in some way. Two of Wands is the weight. So I feel like this person is aware that time is a factor. It's running out. Two of Wands is an energy of feeling restless, needing a plan, yearning. You know, this figure is literally looking up at the moon. It's like this person, they may have created a world for themselves where, you know, they feel content or they literally have the world. But the one thing they don't have, we got the moon there. And you are a Cancerian. And of course, the card for you in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the major arcanas is the moon. So I feel this person, they think about you a lot and they got so close to building a home with you, but their fears kept them like away from that dream. It's like it prevented them. This figure is literally sitting on top of a roof. So like they have a desire for security, but they feel like they can't quite get there, or they feel like it's a very precarious position to be in right now for themselves. So let me just go one more, because that Two of Wands is a waiting game, and you're not here to wait. My beautiful Cancerians, I always say, do not wait for your person because they will have a path that could take years, months, decades, and you need to focus on your own sense of purpose at this time. Let me just go one more to see this. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a glow-up energy, but also it indicates that this person finds you very attractive and so attractive that you attract other people as well. And look at that, we got the Death card energy. This tells me that they feel like things could change or that it could end because you outshine them. If you think this figure's looking at the moon, that means they feel next to you that you shine. And that they don't mind you kind of like outshining them, but it just means that you'll get a lot of attention, and it just means there's always a potential for you to leave or betray them. And I don't think that you're that sort of person anyway, because looking at the cards, this is fidelity. This is a card of, faithfulness, honesty, wanting to have commitment. You don't want to leave this person's side. That's why that knight is not moving. These are oak leaves. You wanted to grow with this person, join their family lineage, really commit on a deep level. But control is actually controlling this relationship. And with the Queen of Wands energy as well, with the Death card, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I'm getting some interesting energy coming through. So this could tell me this person also has had some sort of bereavement on their journey. Someone who has had a lot of significance in their life, and they learnt one way or another that love leaves, whether it's through someone cheating or deceiving them or just exiting the relationship and letting them down, or through the vehicle of death and transition. So they've got the Death card. More than anything, I feel this was starting to grow and they put the brakes on. I feel like they stopped it immediately. The Death card indicates that oh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. My guides just said that your twin, and they may have said this to you before in the past, everything has an expiry date. Ooh, this person, they've been through some stuff, but so have you. But the way that this person looks at things, it's almost like they're allowing their experiences to define them and keep them in that little bracket. This person needs to come out of their comfort zone. Easier said than done, I know, but I feel like, if I know a Cancerian, there is loyalty and trust and unconditional love and, someone who is there no matter what. And if they could just get out of their own way, they could see that. If they could just get past their fears, which again is going to be really hard, I feel this person will tell you about a counselor or some sort of person who can help. Because I feel like they've talked to somebody in their family about this already, is what I'm seeing there. And the advice that, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. My guides said the advice that has been given, it'll all pan out all right in the end. They need some more advice. They need something a little bit more to help them get past this, whatever this is. Let me see how they could do that, just in case there's a cross-watcher there who's struggling. And what is the secret? I want to know what that is. What is the thing that is being kept close to their chest right now? We've got the Moon, fear of uncertainty, fear of the unknown, Eight of Wands, but it's also a Cancerian card. Eight of Wands is like, movement forward. Eight of Wands, if you look up the meaning regarding the Eight of Wands connected to love, it means ready to fall in love, but a need to question, is it lust? Because they don't want to make a mistake. So I feel with the Moon, there's a hesitancy. I feel like they're learning to trust their intuition. Eight of Wands is messaging. I feel this person has something to tell you that is deeply embedded within their soul, and they do not reveal this to everybody. They will in the future with you, because I feel like this person will message you. I feel like there is going to be some sort of communication or action there. Eight of Wands tells me that. But also I feel this person's going through a transformation and they are seeking new territories in their life. They're eager to let go of this fear and recognize what they have to offer in a connection. So yeah, this person's going to tell you about seeking counseling or some sort of advice. They may even have gone to their medical practitioner at first, because there's something here that's, I'm given panic attacks. That's what I'm being given. This person is starting to feel panic attacks. Again, they may tell you about this, they may not at this time, but they'll tell you in the future. But I feel like they may seek some sort of like advice from a medical practitioner who will then refer them to a counselor or a psychotherapist about something. And they're going to get to the root cause of whatever this is, because whatever this is, I feel it's private. I feel they're not going to tell anybody until they're ready. But when they get to the heart of the matter on this, it's something to do with their home, something to do with their family, something to do with their upbringing, something that is really private. And when they get to the heart of this, whatever this is, that will unlock it all. And that can help your relationship advance. But until they get to that point, just be a little bit mindful that this person's still in an energy of being in fight or flight mode. Now, in your future, of course, you've got the hearts. So there is love, and this can save the day. But, of course, the Magician is all about control. It's all about, I just heard it's all about keeping up appearances. This person on the surface, they're like, I'm fine, but below the surface, not so fine. I mean, we all go through moments of that, of course, but the Magician card is an energy of manifestation as well and focus. So I feel this person needs to look at their focus. I feel they need to turn their thoughts around as well, because not everybody is a threat. Not everyone's going to deceive or betray you, okay? But it must be a very intense experience they had to make them really question everything and everybody there. The Magician card is an energy of taking back one's power, looking at one's beliefs as well, and recognizing that everything you need to be who you are, be loved, be a success, be whatever, is within you. So this person needs to realize there's nothing missing from them, that they are enough, and vice versa, because I feel the blurred lines in this relationship reading are very present. So it could be that some of you are listening to this going, oh yeah, that's me as well. Oh yeah, I do feel that sometimes, because there's a mirrored connection going on very strongly in this particular twin flame dynamic. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. I'm being given an energy that this person also was bullied when they were younger, and not just by people outside their, let's say, their family unit. Okay, now this could mean, it wasn't parents or guardians or siblings. It could mean like cousins or someone, I'm not sure, because I'm being given this energy that, I don't like this, but I got to give you what it's coming out as. The ugly duckling turned into the swan. So this person felt like they were not lovable, or they were not worthy of love in some way, because my guides are pointing at the swan. I wish you could see what I can see, but they are pointing at this. This person had to learn to love themselves. They're just not there yet. It's a process, okay? And I feel like this person, they are transforming. Again, there's this energy of the windows. What's this? Window pane, windows, window to the soul. Eyes are the window to the soul. I mean, you're very intuitive, my beautiful Cancerian. So I feel like you actually know that there is a wound, or there's something there that has kept this person feeling restricted or stuck in some way. But the Seven of Cups, I mean, the Seven of Cups normally means look at your options, choose what you want, come back to your heart center, especially since you've got that overarching energy. And this is for both of you. So this can be that right now, in its present form, you do not trust your twin because they feel unreliable. They stepped away when you were getting so close to each other, when there was a definite connection, a spark like no other, and you feel they abandoned you in this, and now there is a question mark over this relationship. And they have been betrayed in the past. They may also feel like they wanted to build a home with you, but they are grappling with something that is, I feel, a secret. And it's like, if they release this secret, they wonder, would you still want to be with them? Would you judge them? I feel the answer is no. Looking at the energy, you still want to be by their side. But they are hesitant because of being betrayed, or that no one has been there, or they feel judged in some way. This card can highlight, I mean, this is a lovely card, but it doesn't really highlight the meaning of the actual card pictorially. So look to the Seven of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, because there's a figure there looking at all of the cups. Now, this can be that you're looking at the experiences you've had in your life. Some wins, because there's some victory wreaths in the cups. There's riches in another cup. There's snakes in the other cup. So it can be, since your person has a snake presenting in their energy, they've had a life full of transformative change, things feeling very inconsistent. They held on to themselves, their sense of self, to show up, because other people were not showing up for them. And again, I'm not giving an excuse or a way out or trying to make an excuse for this person so they were let off. Not at all. I'm trying to understand the energy so I can understand the outcome. There's still an inconsistency with this person. They still have this wound, shall I say, but it's almost like they're disassociated from it. So they haven't quite dissected it. They're removed from it. They think of it from time to time, but it's like, until they really face it or entrust you with it, I feel there's going to be no movement in this relationship for a while, okay? I just want to see the outcome, because these two cards are like you're manifesting each other back into each other's life, but there is a hesitancy on both sides. But still there's love. So maybe both of you are thinking, is that the end of the love dream? Are we letting this go? Are we... It just feels all up in the air, literally, for your reading at this moment in time. Doesn't mean it's not going to come through. I mean, we've got the Death card there. We've got the Queen of Wands. I mean, it's the same thing. So either this person needs to talk about a bereavement with that Death card energy, and I'm sending a huge hug out there. So much love. If this is something that has impacted you, it's a lot. It can feel like it's hard to push past the feelings of grief, because you perceive that once you get close to a person, that life can just come in and just like take away your happiness. So I understand that. But also I feel with the Queen of Wands energy, this is about acknowledging attractiveness. There's something here about perhaps self-loathing or not feeling like they're not enough. And the Death card can indicate a transformation in the way that you see yourself. And this could be your twin if they're watching. You know, with the Queen of Wands tends to be about aesthetics as well. But also this is an energy of confidence, regaining confidence, but also not just knowing one's worth. The Queen of Wands is actually a homemaker. People don't realize that. They normally put that just down to the Queen of Pentacles, but it's something about home that is going on here. And we got the Ten of Cups. So I would say that when this changes, you and this person could be fully happy. I mean, the Ten of Cups there is a family card. It highlights something to do with family as an influence. And I feel more than anything, for a lot of you, your twin is dealing with numbing a pain or a sadness or a grief regarding someone in their family that was absent due to death, okay? But also I'm getting this kind of like person in and out of their life as well. It just feels very inconsistent, and they kind of just did not want to repeat a cycle or get too close, and they just wanted to keep things like physical, you know, all about intensity, passion, but then they caught feelings. They started to think about settling down with you, and they felt like they got in too deep, and then this person, they just pulled the plug. Like if you think about this card, symbolically, it is to protect the home space from, you know, or protect the children, because these are potential children in those little eggs. Oh gosh, I'm also seeing a really random image in the water. Okay, this is, I'm not sure how this is relevant at all, but I'm seeing a duck with a mohawk. And it's a real duck. It's not a cartoon. It's a duck with like a kind of a spiky type mohawk. What is that called? Okay, I don't know what it is. It begins with M, I think. M-A. Okay, I'm going to have to look this up. I'm not sure. It's like I can't quite reach it. Maybe this is relevant. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look up the nature of that duck and how it kind of connects to this reading there. But if you think about like the mohawk, for example, birds especially, they use their feathers to attract a mate, right? The mohawk, I can only imagine, is there to kind of serve as some sort of warning, like I'm spiky. Don't get caught up with me. I'm not good to know. I'm probably going to hurt you because every time I get connected to somebody, it goes wrong. So I just feel there is this like pushing away due to an insecurity regarding betrayal. So yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. May not resonate with everyone. I can only give you what comes out in the reading. You mean the world to me. I mean, that's literally this card. It's how they feel about you. You mean the world to them. They thought about security, settling down, but they're not there yet because they're on top of the roof there. They're not inside the house. They're on top of the house. They've thought about it, but they can't quite get there based on their fears and running away from their sense of responsibility. I feel that's what this person is doing. They're running away from a sense of responsibility. I feel this person may have had to be very responsible when they were younger, maybe take care of the household due to an absent parent. And as they got older, they were like, okay, no more responsibility. I want to be free. I want to be independent. And then, you know, they met you and they thought about a future together, and it requires them to be responsible again, responsible for another person's heart, to be careful with it. And I feel their experiences have made them feel very hesitant. Okay, so we've got, you mean the world to me. These are often conversations that have been left unsaid. I pretend I don't care because I care too much. So it comes back to that mohawk as well. Again, there where it's like, don't get too close. I'm spiky. Okay. Also, I feel this person does care too much. Often people who have a very spiky exterior, they're very soft and sensitive internally because they've been through some stuff. No one makes me feel like you do. Now that 10 of Cups could connect to that, and the outcome of the heart connects to that. But this person is very much, how can I put that? Very cerebral, because you got the 7 of Swords there. Yes, no one makes them feel the way you do, but they are cautious about love. So you've triggered every fearful emotion within them about loss or someone running away or losing. And in order to retain the sense of control, they have decided to be the one who walks away, so that they can retain the control. And, you know, I really feel they didn't mean to hurt you, but it says here, I know I hurt you. I never intended to. And I really feel there isn't anything malicious here in this person. I feel they didn't really intend to hurt you, but in self-preservation mode, they activated that to feel safe and secure and, you know, quieten some intense emotions. But of course, it feels like abandonment to you. And of course, they pulled away in order to be calm, but it left you feeling panicked or shattered and feeling a need to protect yourself because you've got caught in a loop with this. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, this has popped out as well. Okay, and that just popped out in my hand. So we have, interesting, we've got a leaf turning over a new leaf there, but also this leaf is like a flame, and if you turn it around, there's a little heart in the center there. So this can indicate that this person needs to let go of something that has been festering away in their heart for some time so they can promote growth. You know, when you kind of deadhead the roses, as it were, in life, you pull away all the leaves and everything that's like crumbling away in order to help the rose or the plant really thrive. And this person has to, you know, shed something in order to promote healthy growth and create a space for healthy love to come on in. And of course we have, you know, the evil eye energy there. So this is an eye of protection. So this person is protecting themselves out of fear, out of control. I mean, for some of you, there may even be something that went on that is like a secret in their family. Like they could be connected to some things that perhaps they don't want you to be involved in, and they were just keeping you at arm's length in order to protect you from that. There's something there. I'm not going to go there because I feel it's private. They will let you know when they are ready to do so. I feel like you haven't heard the last from this person, but it is going to be a process. Both of you right now, there's a question mark from either side. There's love, of course, but there's hesitancy, uncertainty, and both of you, it's going to be a process to find your way back towards each other, okay? Not impossible because the love is there. I do see that in your future, you know, there is a coming togetherness, but it's going to be a long process to find your way into being in that position with this person, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Cancerians, and thank you so much. Love and light.